So we need to understand, first we need to understand what is divergence of a vector, only then we can discuss this Gauss divergence theorem, which I hope like we did, so you have some understanding of divergence of a vector. Okay, so Gauss divergence theorem, it is a very important theorem not only in physics but even in mathematics, because it just relate the surface integral of any vector with the volume integral of that vector. Okay, very important term, very important theorem. So how we define this theorem? Okay, this is the Gauss divergence theorem. It is defined as the surface integral of the normal component of a vector field A taken over a closed surface S. Okay, and how we'll write this term? The surface integral. Okay, so surface integral, we know this is surface integral. Okay, surface integral, we have an integral and then we have S symbol. Okay, this will become the surface integral of normal component of vector. Okay, so normal component of vector will be A dot n cap ds. Okay, this will become normal component of vector field A taken over a closed surface. Okay, and closing the volume V equals to the, okay, so this will be your first term, which is what? The surface integral of the normal component of the vector field A taken over the closed surface S, and closing volume V is equal to the volume integral of divergence of that vector field del dot A taken over the volume V enclosed by the same surface S. Okay, so this is how we write this Gauss divergence theorem. Okay, this is the mathematical statement of Gauss divergence theorem. And what it is, again I am repeating, this is the surface integral of normal component of a vector field A taken over a closed surface S and closing the volume V. This term will be equal to the volume integral of the divergence of the given vector field A, same vector, divergence of the given vector field A over the volume V enclosed by the same surface S. Okay, so this is how mathematically we write Gauss divergence theorem. Okay, so we can prove this theorem as well. The proof of this theorem is also part of your syllabus and very important. So for the proof of this theorem, let us consider the closed surfaces. Okay, closed surface S which encloses the volume V. Okay, again you can consider we have a parallelepiped having volume V, and what we did, we have divided this given volume into large number of infinitely small volumes. Okay, we have divided this whole volume into small number of volumes, say V1, V2, V3, which encloses by the surfaces S1, S2, S3. Okay, and consider one such volume element, say volume element 1 as shown in figure. Okay, we have considered first volume element. For this first volume element, if we calculate the flux of this vector field A through volume element 1, that will be how much? Okay, this we just calculated. Okay, the flux through that field is nothing but the surface integral. Okay, over this closed path A dot ds, and this will be, this we already know. Okay, that is how we define flux through a surface. Always that is the surface integral of that vector through that surface. Okay, and what it is, we have just discussed, it is nothing but it is given by this value, divergence of that vector through the given volume which encloses by the surface element. Okay, is also nothing but the flux of that vector field. So these two terms are equal. Okay, this will be given by this. Okay, and this we have written for first volume element, and we have n number of volume elements. So next we will write these terms, the flux of vector field A over all the volume elements which we have considered 1 to n. Okay, so for all those, this equation will be like this. Okay, for the second volume element, the equation will be this. again surface integral A dot ds over the surface S2 encloses the volume V2. Okay, this will be equal to divergence of A into delta V2. Okay, similarly other terms. Okay, like this we can write. Okay, so next, if we add all these terms together, okay, if we combine all the volume, earlier what we did, the whole volume divided into small volume elements. Now what we have did, we have add all these equations. Okay, so what it will become, this will become surface integral of A dot ds over the surface S1 plus S2 plus S3 up to Sn. Okay, this will be our left hand side, and right hand side will become the divergence of A through volume delta V1, then divergence of A through volume delta V2 up to delta Vn. Okay, so all this term will get added. Okay, and as we have n number of partition, okay, so this left hand side equation will become summation I over 1 to n the surface integral of A dot ds over the surface Si. Okay, and it will be equal to summation I over n divergence of A through the volume element delta Vi. Okay, this equation we will get. Okay, now again consider two volume elements 1 and volume element 2. Okay, come back to this page, okay, and see this diagram carefully. Okay, so for this we have considered two volume elements, volume 1 and volume 2. Okay, and it is clear that at their common phase, which is this, which is parting this 1 and 2, okay, due to their opposite sign, they cancel each other. Okay, at their common phase, at this phase, okay, at this phase, this common phase, the outflow of element 1 is equal to the inflow of element 2. Okay, like this is for outflow for 1 and this will become inflow for 2. Okay, for first volume element it is outflow and for the second it is inflow. Okay, and due to their opposite sign, okay, because for one it is outflow and for other it is inflow, so they have opposite sign, they will cancel each other. Okay, the flux due to these will get cancelled. Okay, thus the sum of total outflow of these two elements will be equal to the outflow through the surface of the combined volumes of both the elements. Okay, if we want to calculate the total outflow through this combined volume element, that will be nothing but will be the outflow through the surface of the combined volumes of both the elements. Okay, and similarly if we consider other volume elements in pair, so all the volume elements enclosed by the surface S are taken into consideration, the net outflow is determined across this surface. Okay, okay, similarly if we consider if we can consider other volume elements in pairs, so that all the elements enclosed by the surface S are taken into consideration and net outflow is determined across this surface. Therefore the total net outflow through all the volume elements is equal to the net outflow through the surface S, which encloses all the volume elements having total volume V. Okay, because okay, so this equation will become summation I1 to n surface integral over A dot ds over Si is equal to surface integral of A dot ds over S, closed surface over S. Okay, because the only surface which matter for this calculation is the outer boundary. Okay, the inner surfaces which are common to the different volume elements, okay, for them the flux will be cancelled because of that common phase. Okay, because for the one phase it will be outflow and for the other phase it will be For the one element it will be inflow, and for the other element it will be outflow, so that will get cancelled out. So the only surface which will matter is the outer surface which cover the that given volume which we have considered. Okay, so this left hand side equation, which was this equation, this can be rewritten as like this. Okay, here we can change this summation, okay, into the integral. Okay, and similarly if we substitute this value now in this equation, okay, so what we will get, if we substitute this value in this equation, this will become surface integral of A dot ds will be equal to summation I1 to n del dot A into delta Vi. Okay, and now the summation on the right hand side, this term, okay, the summation on the right hand side tends to volume integral in the limit, okay, if n is taken to be infinite, means if we divide that whole volume into large number of small volume elements, okay, n tends to infinity, and delta Vi, the volume element, small volume element which we have considered, if it is infinitely small, okay, that means delta Vi tends to 0. In that case again this summation will be changed into integral. Okay, so this term will become in the limit of n tends to infinity, okay, in the limit of n tends to infinity and delta Vi approaches to 0, the summation will change it into integral, that will be divergence of A into dV. Okay, and now substitute this value in this equation. Okay, what we will get, we will get this result, which is nothing but the Gauss divergence theorem, and which is what, the surface integral of normal component of A over the closed surface S will be equal to the volume integral of the divergence of the given vector field A taken over the volume V enclosed by the same surface S. Okay, so this is the mathematical statement of Gauss divergence theorem, which is very important. Okay, we will use this result quite a lot in our coming chapters. Okay, next we come to the one very small topic which is known as solenoidal field. Okay, which we just discussed also in the properties of divergence. Whenever the divergence of a vector field is 0, that field is known as solenoidal field. Okay, so a vector field in which there are no starting or end points is called solenoidal field. The surface integral is always 0 for such fields. Okay, so the surface integral of A dot n cap ds is 0. Therefore the value of A dot n cap ds for a vector A and for every surface is 0, then such a vector is taken as solenoidal vector or field. Now from the Gauss divergence we can convert this surface integral into volume integral. Okay, so this surface integral of A dot n cap ds over the surface S will be equal to divergence of A over the volume V enclosed by the surface S. Okay, but as we know, for the solenoidal vector the surface integral is 0, that means this term will become 0, and for this term to be 0, this can only be 0 only when this term, inside term, this divergence of A is 0. Okay, divergence of A is 0. Therefore the divergence of A is 0. This shows that the flux line in the volume V have no starting and no terminating points, and no flux line originate in the volume. For example, the magnetic field lines, the flux lines of the magnetic field are continuous and are in closed loops. Okay, so both these things are reciprocity. Okay, like this means if we have a vector field, okay, whose surface integral is always 0, okay, that means the divergence of that vector is 0. Okay, and if the divergence of a vector field is 0, that means its surface integral over the closed loop will also be 0. So the field having this property, whose surface integral over the whole surface is zero, or whose divergence of vector field is zero, those fields are known as solenoidal fields. This is again very important term, okay, which we will use quite a lot in our coming chapters. So this is it for today. Thank you.